Hey everyone, my name is Johnny and I'm here to show you how to synchronize audio in Adobe Premiere. So in Adobe Premiere, there is an automatic feature that helps you synchronize audio. So one of the first things you want to do is to expand these tracks on the left. So if you were to double click, you can have a better look at these waveforms. Using the plus and minus keys on your keyboard, you can zoom in on the waveform. So looking at the waveform right here, we do see that it is not in sync if we were to play this right now.
It's the best part.
It's definitely not in sync, but like I know for sure that these two tracks they go along. So if you were to select these tracks, you can right click and hit synchronize. So if you were to select all these tracks and try to synchronize them, they won't synchronize. That's one of the limitations with Adobe Premiere. So what you have to do is select these two tracks. Right click, synchronize audio, track channel 1, hit OK. And then let's play this back.
It's the best part of it. Um,
So we do see that the waveforms do look like they're in sync, but the sound's a little off.
Part of it.
So zooming in all the way, we do see that it's maybe like half a second, or it's just like a little bit off to the left. So what you'd have to do is manually sync it. So you'd have to select the track, hold, and drag it to the right a little bit more. And if we're looking at the bottom, we can see the units by how much it's moving to the left or the right. All right, so that looks a little good. So let's play that.
Part of it. Um, best part of it.
So that sounds pretty good. So one of the ways that I'm able to do that is because I had already right-clicked above the timeline, and by default, show audio time units is not enabled. So without that on, you wouldn't have as much flexibility moving the audio track to the left or right. So you'd have to go above here, right-click, and make sure that that is enabled. Also, there's another way to adjust the sound. So by default, having it not enabled on your keyboard, if you press Alt and use your left and right arrow keys, you can slide this to the left and right. That's one easy way to moving the tracks. But if you do need to, you know, make it perfect, you'd have to show audio time units and slide it to the left and right. So that's Adobe's built-in feature. Now, if you have the Red Giant suite of software, Pluralize is a really nifty software to synchronize audio, and the difference between Pluralize and Adobe Premiere's built-in feature is Pluralize, you can take everything that's in your sequence and it will do its best to synchronize the sound. So there's two different ways of doing this. You can use the plugin. Here, you'll have these different options. Color unsynchronized clips, you can move unsynchronized clips to the left, and also create a new sequence with audio replaced, or you could open Pluralize in its own external app. Now the external app is great if you want to, mess around with this. It's not too different than using the actual built-in plugin. So for me, I'd rather just use that. So let's press synchronize and let's just see how good Pluralize does to synchronize these clips. All right, great. So this is what Pluralize did. We can see that this clip here has changed color, so that must mean that it's unable to synchronize these clips. And I know that these two clips do go along to get, like, they do sync. These two clips belong to each other. This one was already, we already manually did that. So let's move that. Let's move this around, and let's try this again and see what happens. Now also, if you look at the sequence name, you can see here it adds synced here. So that means it just created that extra sequence here with the audio replace. So I'm going to go back to the original sequence here, move these things, pluralize floor, and let's synchronize. All right, great. So it pretty much synchronized this. Let's just take a listen to this.
It's the best part of.
So it seems to have a similar result as in using Premiere Pro's built-in feature, but these two clips weren't synchronized at all. Now, there could be a couple of reasons why these uh, clips weren't synced, and another, like, one obvious thing is looking at here at this waveform here, we don't see too much going on with the levels, so the program might be having a hard time syncing the sound just because there's not enough sound levels. The levels are too low that I couldn't make out any difference. But just zooming in, I'm just gonna do this manually. Move this clip. Let's see. I'm gonna use my Alt left and right keys. All right, that's not enough, so I have to show audio time units, and let's zoom in as much as we can. Slide it over. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Let's play. Put it on the thing. All right, that sounds pretty good. The camera.
Look at this.
Okay, awesome. So those are the pros and cons of using either or. I would definitely use the Pluralize plugin, especially when you have a lot of clips that you're trying to synchronize. But the Adobe Premiere built-in feature is great if you just want to, do things manually and tackle all of the files yourself. So that's all that I have. And if you guys have questions or any kind of problems using any of these tools, feel free to reach out to us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.